Everything's unmuted.
Okay, so you're ready?
Yeah, you're live now. Like right now.
Wonderful. It's great. Yeah, I can hear you lovely.
Woo.
I can hear an echo.
No, that was just one.
Is it from my end?
No, it's fine now.
Okay. Do you want? We can't.
What?
You know what I'll do? How's that?
It's fine.
That's fine. That sounds fine.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're
Yeah.
ready to start. We'll edit that.
Oh no, you can't edit like a pre-made stream.
Okay. So hello, welcome to a. I can hear myself. There's a bit of a lag. Don't know if I can get used to that.
Everything you just said cut out.
What's going on?
Shouldn't be anything too major. I think it's just connection issues, because you're also watching the stream, correct? Hello?
Can hear you.
Yeah, I think it's because you're
Yeah,
also watching
correct.
the
I'm watching the
stream.
stream.
So I don't think it's the best idea for you to watch the stream and use Discord.
So just come off YouTube.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I can.
I'll tell you if there's any technical
Come off that.
problems.
How's that?
Maybe I can hear you now.
Is that better?
Ah, it's really loud.
Is
Oh,
that better?
yeah.
All right, all right.
That,
Okay, well,
that
let's get
that's
started.
really loud.
Sorry,
it's
sorry.
it's fine.
How's that?
It is good.
Okay. Hi, welcome to another live session of Magical Flower Nerd here for public speaking and art talk. Today, we're going to be giving advice on college, how to cope with college stress, especially at the beginning, a little bit about the art's been going on during the week, and also autism awareness and art. Today, I'd like to introduce a special guest, Crimson Fox, or now known as Fox Echo.
Hello.
Would you like to say hello, Fox Echo?
Hi.
Hi. Fox Echo is going to start college in the next week or so. So this gave me the perfect opportunity to talk about certain anxieties, certain questions that we can talk about together, how we can feel positive and get through anything that may be troubling us. We're also going to be talking about certain subjects, how we relate to the arts. As we all remember, arts are not just paintbrush and canvas. It can be expression through music and materials. Um, I would like to give this opportunity a massive shout out to Fox Echo for setting this all up. This was all his idea. He has done all this work. He's worked so hard. We've really tried to get this thing to work. So this massive super thank you to you, Fox Echo. So
Internal
Fox
collapse.
Echo, what's that? Sorry.
Internal collapse.
Yay! Clapping! Little party poppers. Okay, so Fox Echo, what are you studying?
uh, Rally. It's a stage 2 course at X and B college. I'm not going to go into that college because online.
Yeah.
You don't really want to
Okay.
talk about where I'm going and stuff, but yeah,
Of course.
it's gonna be a engineering course.
How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly getting enrolled and all that. It's quite a lot of stuff to get ready.
Yeah. Do you feel mentally prepared? Like, do you feel like
Mentally,
you're ready to?
I feel like I'm gonna be okay, but there's a
Yeah.
lot and a lot of stuff to prepare to get there. But once it's done, like once all the stuff's prepared, I'm pretty sure it's going to be like smooth sailing. Hopefully.
Or I completely understand. You remember my preparation for enrollment? I went to Connell Newman College, and it was it is a stressful time. It's a new step in life, and um, I was scared of who I was going to meet. I mean, especially someone who has autism, Asperger's, social anxiety. It's a big scary step. And I remember my first day, and I fell in love with it. I think partly because I felt a little bit special wearing my lanyard. I remember wearing a suit. I felt very privileged to be going to college. To be honest, I didn't know if I was going to make it that far, to be honest. Because I had a little bit of trouble with my grading. I during the college and high school transition, there was a lot of stress, not just within the college but without as well. That didn't help, but I remain positive because good things come to those who wait. I got the advice from the right people, and I everything that I was given out, I stuck to, or any advice that I was given. The main advice was just to literally let the day fall out on your first day, because there are thousands of other students who are going to be starting, not necessarily in the same subject, but who are going to be starting in I wonder what they think of me,
Yeah.
self image and stuff. And at the end of the day, everyone is feeling the same as you do, and because you all have that common, that's what makes the day go so much easier. And when you're introduced to a new subject, especially when you're going to the introduction period, it's fantastic. I mean, I've done this twice. I've enrolled twice, and it sounds dumb, and it is to a degree, because when I finished my first year of media, I had to enroll again, and they had all my information, but I had to fill it out again.
Well,
I
yeah.
thought, yeah, I had to be year 13 again. And then I remember sat on my table, and I was like, there was two guys and a group full of girls, and I was just looking around, and I'm like,
What is the experience actually like if you wanted to enroll in another course? Because obviously you'd be, I wouldn't say older than the others, but it's got to be a bit odd.
The experience. It at first, yeah, because I knew I was gonna no, in the media group, I was actually the baby of the group, in my first year. But when I enrolled again, I knew I was going to be a year behind. At first, I thought, this is going to be, a little bit immature. Am I going to be able to cope?
And like catch up and stuff like that.
But when I enrolled again and I started on my first day, it's not necessarily about the age group. It's what you have in common. And obviously, when I enrolled with art, everyone, when you step into that room, you kind of immediately mature, and you all just get along straight away, and it doesn't really matter. And because you all get taught the same things, you get taught the same essays, you're treated as equals. It's not, you're older than the other. But there was, at one point, my age was a problem when I started the foundation, because I was a year behind, going on nearly 2 years behind now, in foundation. They were like, we're a little bit worried because you're going to be behind your peers. Most people, some people have left university now, and they were a little bit concerned. But because I was so passionate about it, I was so confident, and I knew what I was going to do, they were like, right, we'll give you a chance. And it was great. It really worked out great that way. So for those who are worried about being a year behind or going into a different course, please remember, if you have enrolled in something and you don't quite like it, it's not the end of the world, because you do still have a transition period. You have 14 days, if not, give or take a few. That was the Newman process. You have 14 days to decide whether you like your course, and if it's not for you, that is not the end of the world, because the staff is so supportive. They will help you find a course that is more right for you, or even find a college that is right for you. It
I've
is not the end of the world.
I've also been told that even if you don't like the course, it's not like if you don't like it. It's like, let's say I do 1 year
Yeah.
for engineering, and if I don't like that,
Yes.
I can then choose a different course or to go to a different college after that year's up.
Yeah, that's correct. So if you've done 1 year and the course isn't for you, you have to re-enroll and start another course. And you will. No,
So basically, the process you
again.
did to get into the course to begin with.
Yeah, so I wouldn't leave it to the last minute. That is the thing that I would recommend. If you know, probably after a couple of months of doing it, that it's not for you, I'd probably give it, 5 or 6 months. Give it a little bit of a chance. But if you know you absolutely detest the living life out of that course, don't leave it to the last minute, because if you're in August and you're going into the cleaning process and there's like a few courses, that are left, and you're like, ooh, you have to tell your peers, your tutors, your professors early, so they can get you into the spot, so you avoid disappointment. I have experience of this, unfortunately, because I wanted to do art right from the beginning, but I didn't put that down as an option on Newman, and that was on me. That was my fault, because I left it to the last minute. So I went to enrolling, and they automatically put me in media. Now, the good thing about media is that it's an art, it's a filming and music art, which is fantastic. But it was one of them courses where I thought, oh, right, it's not what I expected, and I got disappointed. But when I knew that I wanted art all through media, I was building a portfolio. And when May came, when it was time when people were going through their exams, getting their results, I went for an interview with the BTEC team, and because I've been working it all year and they knew what my desire was, I got in. So, hard work does pay off, and, you should never leave things last minute. So,
There's also one thing that's been left out for, especially the people in my old school, like in year 11, is that
yeah.
bad grades are the end of the world, is what everyone thinks.
Oh, no.
There's always a chance to
Yeah.
resit. There's always a chance to. There's a load of options. There's lower level courses. If you are set to do a higher level course, there's obviously resittable options for that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's the problem that's happened, obviously this year. I mean, not only have the high schools and universities and colleges have disappointment, we've all had disappointment with our grades, and it's no one actually really knows what's going on with that at the moment. There's talk of resets, there's talk of regrading. Personally, I think if you get, if you've you put it on your CV that it was code, yeah, I think it will either be overlooked, or it's a bit of a
There's a
crisis
bit
moment,
like
really.
the grades would be like compensated for. Like, okay, that's not your true
Yeah,
grades, and yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to look at the circumstance that it's been COVID. There's no one's been in school that long. In that time where you did your test, it might not be the best example.
And the
I
thing is
when I
though,
left.
oh sorry,
Go on,
go on,
sorry.
is that everyone treated the mock exams as just like a practice, which they are.
Yeah,
But now
yeah.
that our actual grades have been based off of them, it's kind of let us down
It's
in a lot of
unfair.
ways because we knew, like at the time, we thought, oh, these grades they don't count towards our final grade, and then here we are now. They've counted our mocks as our final grade.
Yeah, that's what they've done with everyone, and it's so unfortunate, because I know certain people who they struggle, and some people have not had their help in their mocks that they write, that they deserve, and there's no justice in this, because at that time, for example, when I set my maths exam, I was in a really bad place, and I was actually moving house, and I was so stressed out, and that exam was based on that day that I walked in, and I had been, from my mock results, I'd been predicted a B in the old GCSE system, and I was going to sit the higher paper. They had confidence. I took extra lessons. I stayed for revision. I worked really hard, and when I got that result, it absolutely broke my heart. It, like, out of all the others, because I got A stars and other things, and I just
Mm.
looked at that one result, and it dragged me down, to be honest. But I remembered, like, when I enrolled into Newman, that I'm going to get better support. I'm going to, I get a chance to sit again. And the day that I do sit my exam, I want to make sure it is a good day. And it was. But again, I failed again in November because I wasn't ready. I was still moving house. I still know where I was going to
Yeah.
live at the end of the day. But when I start the May exam, because I practiced again and I kept going, it's not a problem if people don't get it right first time. Be proud that you actually, wrote your name on the damn thing, and I sat it and I got my results and I was so happy. I passed with the skin of my teeth, but I still passed because I sat there and I tried.
Pass
I
is a
remembered.
pass.
Pass is a pass, absolutely. And
If
you know,
if
I,
if you've got the grades that you need to get into the course you've got,
yeah,
then you don't really need to worry about your grades ever again unless you're trying to not reset, go
absolutely,
for another course.
absolutely. What people look at is if you've done it, and when they were looking at my results, they just saw that I passed. They weren't bothered about the numbers or how many marks I got or what my grade was. They were just like, "Oh, you've passed. That's great. Moving on." But as long as you agree, this because English and maths are compulsory, you have to get a pass in that, even if you're probably 70 in a rocking chest in your exam.
Maths, English, and I think some of your
It's,
sciences.
yeah, I think
And
I'm not sure if it's physics.
in physics and chemistry. And yeah, it's all three actually. It's in
Yeah, is it
no,
all
in
three?
English it's language you need to pass. You don't
Well,
need to pass the literature.
yeah, I passed literature. I got any star in that.
Oh,
Yeah, got any
my
star in
grades.
that. Oh, is it a 9 or a 10?
uh,
9.
nine's the best. One
Yeah, I
is
got
like one
9.
of the worst.
Um,
U is ungradable.
God. I know I've never got a U. I do know a certain few people who have, but I've gone on to great things. I mean, when I sat for my science, I did compound and extended, and I had a poster next to me because I was sat on the back row with terrible eyesight, and there was a poster next to me with Richard Branson on, and he's dyslexic, and as you know, Virgin everything, Virgin planes, Virgin trains,
There's a few
Virgin's
famous people
moon
that have
rockets.
like who are dyslexic.
Yeah, and I even though I got an A star in my literature, it's because I revised, but I struggled a lot. I mean, I struggle with my writing a lot. I have dyslexia, and I thought, well, if he can do it, and be one of the richest men on the planet, I'm pretty sure there's some faith. And if there's help there, never refuse it. It's
I'm looking now, and there is a few actually. There's Tom Cruise, Walt Disney,
yeah,
Albert
yeah. Walt
Einstein,
Disney,
Jamie
yeah.
Oliver,
Jamie Oliver's dyslexic.
yeah,
Wow. I
Steven
mean,
Spielberg, he's
yeah, I knew
dyslexic,
Steven Spielberg was.
John Lennon.
Oh, Imagine guy. I love John Lennon and
Oh, there's a
Yoko.
few presidents that were as well. John F.
I
Kennedy,
mean,
George Washington, George W. Bush.
I knew Bush was dyslexic. I mean,
There's,
Bush was
there's,
known for a lot of things, not necessarily good either.
hmm.
I mean, recently I did a video regarding BPD awareness, and there are so many people who have BPD who are actors, and I thought, well, BPD brings out a lot of it's a multiple personality disorder,
Yeah.
and I thought I can never like go into something like that. Like, for example, this public speaking, I thought, oh my god, I could never do something like that. I thought, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one the only person. Because one thing about mental illness and autism is it makes you feel very isolated, makes you feel like you're very much on your own with some of the things. And I thought I can't be the only person on the planet. I won't be a minute. Well, won't be a minute.
Yes, but
Yeah, it's okay.
but
It's okay. I just told
I
my
disabled the
tutor.
audio, so
Thank you. Um, I think Angelina Jolie has it. Britney Spears. I guess a few footballers. And I just thought, wow, I'm not on my own. And I don't actually know like anybody in my small friendship circle who has it. but I thought I know a lot of famous people who do. I mean, Halsey, my favorite singer. Um, I was just like, wow. And when I explained this to college, because when you go to college, you have to declare a few things, or obviously for health and safety. And they're like, yeah, we know all about it. And I'm like, you do? Like, because it's actually known as EUPD. It's extreme unstable personality disorder in the European terms. BPD is actually American. And yeah, and it actually brought me together with a lot of people, especially people like with OCD, Asperger's, ADHD. Especially a wide range of people on the autistic spectrum, and like people. I sat next to this girl in my media, and she had like serious OCD, and lots of people like mock, and I'd like to turn around, like tell them to like shut the hell up, because I thought she was great. I thought her OCD made her fantastic. Like the way she was, it was just brilliant, and it's partly why I started like getting creative, because the more I discovered that I had like. I googled what borderline personality was, and it says like it should bring out a creative side to you, and it does, because I like look at things. And I always look out like outside the box, like the way like composition of things. Like, can you see like a face in like a fossil rock, or like last night I was up to the early hours designing like vintage pictures and putting them like in fish ponds, and
I saw that.
Oh, thank you. And just like using your imagination to your top. And I thought, wow, it's not the end of the world. So I like my positive streak with that. I do have bad days, but I think so does everybody else. And unfortunately, I do
Yeah,
get mad.
we all can't have good days.
Very true, very true. But when I do have the bad days, I do have that support, and I do often like reach out to the arts. Or I reach out to something to calm me down, or because I can tell you 2020 has tested the entire world. God has definitely. I think
And
we're
then
all
you
going to
realise
heaven.
there's only
The
a
class
few
of
months left.
2020.
There's only a few months left of 20. Let's see what 2021's got in store for us.
Was it level 9 of Jumanji now? I tell you, one thing I've started doing now. I've collected vinyls, and I love the art on there, but I love the more vintage ones, because there's even, especially 80s like electric vinyls. They're absolutely crazy album covers, and they're like warped faces and like shapes, and you're like, what the hell? But it just makes sense, and it sounds so good. So, can I ask you a question, if that's okay?
Go for it.
How has like ADHD helped you throughout your time like on the planet? Like,
Can't really
how
say
do you
now, to
think
be
it's
honest with
helped?
you.
Has it helped you like with your cleverness? Because I know majority of people with ADHD are extremely intelligent.
Not really intelligent. We're just hyper focused on the things we like,
And
which can help.
what kind of?
Which
Go on, sorry.
being hyper focused just basically means you're stupidly good in that one area, but any other areas that don't particularly interest you. This isn't. I'm
Yeah.
not saying this is the be all end all for everyone here, because I know some people with ADHD are good at most things, but with most cases with ADHD, they're hyper focused. So with me,
Yeah.
it's technology based things.
Mhm.
With others, it could be like reading or something like that. So we tend. It can also affect other areas. So like, if we're hyper focused in one area, we suffer in others, but we try to make
Right.
up for that with like studying and things like that.
Yeah. And uh, that obviously has really worked out in your favor, because you're going into a technology course, and that should help like ease a little bit of the anxiety. I think some excitement does definitely increase the anxiety, but I
Because
think
we're
it's
hyper focused
excitement.
in that area,
Yeah,
it wouldn't really give us that much anxiety because we like that type of area. It's the best environment for us.
yeah. I think that's really good. I mean, I also with Asperger's, you have the same kind of thing.
Mm.
You're hyper focused in certain things, and you fall in others. I'm very hyper focused in the arts, English, history, words, and
Mm.
even though dyslexia confuses them. I'm very focused on that, and because of that, I've compensated with my maths. It's almost like a scale, really, isn't it? On one end, you're really good at a particular thing, like biology and art. And the other, it's physics and maths, where
and then your
it's so
interests
difficult.
start to decline and decline and decline to the point where some subjects just don't even matter to you. Like, you almost hate them.
Well, one example is definitely phys ed for me.
Physics
I
is one of my
remember
favourites compared to the others.
No, phys ed. I remember
Maths,
getting my report, and
maths
I
and
had
things like
offered.
that is definitely what I'm for.
Yeah, you're really good at running. Are you Kenyan? Anyway, I I had an operation on both my feet, and that was from year 10. And physical education is obviously compulsory,
Oh, I
and
hate physical education. I hate PE.
I did everything to try and get out of that. I mean, I did
I did.
compete
I
at my
skived it.
best.
I skived it for like year 9, 10, and 11, and year 11 I got caught. So I've come long enough.
Well, yeah. And I kept using my operation like, oh, my feet. I can't basic things
Oh,
like,
my feet that I had an operation on like last year still hurts.
yeah, and I'm like, oh no, my pee kit. But then they came up with the lost and property idea.
Yeah, I hated that.
And
Oh, I lost my pee kit. Oh, don't worry, we've got some spare. I'm like, oh.
yeah, I've got like size 5 feet, and they gave me like size 11 pumps.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
it says in big writing on the thing in the gym, please do not wear black pumps. So then I got sent out and then given these like old like 1980s Reeboks, and I'm like, ooh, oh my god, it was grim. But some of the things going back onto I'm sorry again. Arts. One thing that I have been drawn to recently is abstract stuff. So, where was it now? I think it was when we actually went to Wales, and I saw like a really weird picture in a charity shop, and I thought I really want to do that. And I've been working most of the night, just like composing a few samples on Dada. A brief history on Dada. It basically was kind of invented in Germany, and a lot of artists obviously artists didn't have iPads back in the 1930s.
Do you have any art you want to be displayed on the stream?
What's that? Sorry.
Do you want any art displayed on the stream?
I'm okay because it can obviously be seen on my Instagram, so it's okay. So in the 1930s, yeah, there weren't iPads. There's probably like iTypewriters, but I typewrite physically. But I just like the composition of like how things that shouldn't fit together do fit together, and it's like it can be the ugliest thing on the planet. Like you can have a snail like going over somebody's mouth. Yes, I have seen a picture of that, and it just works. And like I saw some examples on Pinterest about how a woman, she's like the overall like background, and she has a road in her hand, and she has a what's it called, sewing machine. And she's like, it's like she's sewing the road with this car on it, and it looks fantastic. So I had a go last night. I really enjoyed that, and I am planning to do some more on that. But I think personally, what we should talk about is what our plans are going to be for Fox Echo.
Oh, for fuck! That's just my streaming platform, really.
Yeah.
It's just for games, really. Nothing more.
Do you think that art is a massive concept like to consider in the gaming?
Oh yeah. If a game doesn't have good graphical effects, if it doesn't have good story or any part of it really, you can make or break a game. Like with the newest game, Control. If that didn't have any good graphics going for it, I don't even know where its selling point would be.
I mean, Control's almost like watching a film, isn't it? But you're in charge of the plot line. I mean, as I'm going through now, with your permission, we've been deciding on how to draw a new logo and a new banner for your channel, and even just like the basic thought on it, like I've had to put the name, We've done the colour scheme. So the colour scheme is that the client has discussed colours and recommendations. The recs are urban and rusting, worn down. Also, the recs are as followed that there must be no camouflage. So even things like that. Then theme is followed by industrial, like abandoned urban factories. Dark colours, dystopian and cyberpunk-like environment. So I put ideas of how to start that off. So like go into like alleys of like Manchester. You could even go into Liverpool, especially like places that were known for in the Industrial Revolution that have been abandoned. Then I've done my word table. So I've done corrupted control, machine light, robots, rustic greys, reds, fading shadow, geometric things. Then I put a few lists of games. So results look at Terminator, Metal Structure, games such as Cyberpunk 77, Art, and Control. I put photography from primary source will be required, and then I wrote down the bullet points for aim of projects. So I'm designing a logo for client, also banning social media if planned to do so. We're having a fox in the logo. Animated or simplistic yet effective. And we've also discussed the kind of media of that. We've discussed that we're going to go digital, and that is going to be at low poly art. We've already started some samples of that. We've been discussing about like dystopian future films as well, where we could get some ideas from. So like Tokyo buildings, Ghost in the Shell, Altered Carbon, glowing effects, alternative alley,
quite a range of themes.
Yeah, but they all have the same thing in common, like, dark, dystopian, corrupted, scary future things, which can be, really well composed, especially with data and, the use of collage and mixing things up together. So the course of action, this will be completed 4 to 5 weeks, brackets precaution. Work will start on the 2nd of September, so as you know, today is the 2nd of September, so we are starting today. And we're hoping to end around the 1st of October, or get a result at least. The starting plan will be, there'll be photography and sketchbook input. Halfway through the project, so I'm giving between September 18th, 19th, to see what the client thinks, and designs for a fox. The winning design will be altered and digitally adjusted. We've also decided that Fox Echo is, if you put the military alphabet together, it spells FE. And for those budding scientists out there, what does FE mean, Fox Echo?
Iron.
Correct. And that also goes well with like the metallic theme that we're going for here. So another word bank that I put here is fractured, broken, dystopian, twisted, warped, dark future. I've also got some images of some secondary pictures. And for those who do watch the damn channel, please reference your pictures. The artist deserves the credit. And that's what I've done so far. I also done some colour swatches as well, of what I think, what would look good for a fox and what would look good for dystopian images.
If you want to check out more of Charlotte's work here, you can head over to the Instagram, which I've linked on the screen right now.
Oh, thank you very much. It's really helpful. Thank you. And for those who are just starting art GCE, is it art O levels or both?
For what, college or
high school?
High school. It's art, and there's graphics. I took graphics as well.
Okay. Just a little advice tip here. All the things that I've just said here are a 2-page document. Now, when you start a project or doing some annotation, those are great points to put in. Now, as some of you have seen the mind map video, I can happily put some of this document on Instagram and Facebook for all to see. It shows what the client wants, and to always keep it close to the aim of the project. If you are working for a client or if you're working for an aim, it's always important to touch base and, stay close to home. You can go, above and beyond, the stars for creativity, but always remember that the goal is to try and please your client or your audience. So always check in and don't be afraid to contact your client, because at the end of the day, you are designing for them and they have asked the favour from you. So that is super important, and especially those for college and foundation. Swatches, don't just use digitalized swatches. Also take pictures of textures and tones. Think of words and artists that you could relate to, and don't forget your samples. And please, for goodness sake, do not forget your referencing. So, how did you find your experience of graphics in high school?
Well, I'll say one thing: the teacher can definitely make or break the subject.
Yes, yes.
I actually nearly failed graphics because of the teacher. He taught us the entire like for the mock test we did. He
Yeah.
taught us the wrong curriculum.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Um, so, what did you do as an alternative? Like you said, you almost failed, but you must have pulled through somehow.
Because we did the same test as the other, I think it was resistant materials. We did the same test
Correct.
as
Yes.
them, but we only did the questions that we knew, and they only did the questions that they knew. But because
Right.
I had knowledge of resistant materials, I did the resistant
It worked
materials
in your favor.
part. Yeah.
That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Um,
Can't say much for the other people in the graphics class though.
See, people, that is why so much revision and looking at both ends is definitely worth it because that is a winner chicken dinner right there. I am that is really impressive. I mean, when I took my mock in resistant materials, I got a B. I was also doing food tech as well, and a lot of the questions, were like
I did food tech as
CAD
well.
related. CAD related. They were very much like safety,
PPE
hazards and
stuff like protection and stuff like that.
yeah, protection. Yeah, exactly. And how to design a product, going through the stages, quality control checks.
I hated
Um,
that.
uh, the square and diamond boxes. I can tell you now for extra grade, extra credit, the quality control check and almost everything that you do, in practical, even if it's just a keyring, will get you so many grades. The square is what you're doing, the diamond is why you're doing it and how it keeps you safe. And don't forget your start and end boxes because if you don't have an end box, you're going to be doing that keyring forever. So quality control checks will get you the grades that you rightfully deserve.
Yeah, our teacher just was a nightmare.
Oh, I can't believe that because I remember. I mean, I do believe you. Like it's just astounding that a teacher could do that. I One of the projects we did I think graphics did a CD case, and we were
Hmm.
designing a jewelry box. I think I still have the jewelry box in here. I did like a
Our theme, I think, was it was the vaguest thing ever. And if I'm gonna do something, I want details. It was
yeah.
design a product for a high-profile event.
Oh my god, that is big. Well, design a prop for hype. So you could basically design a guitar case for a concert, or
But the thing is,
design
though,
a bin for a kitchen. It's
when
something like that.
when we actually came up with something, I went, no, that's not for a high-profile event. I went, then what's a high-profile event? Please do elaborate. It's like
Yeah, well,
it was like, oh, but we can't tell you because it's for your exam. I was like,
that's so confused. That's so vague. Well, a high profile event could be anything from gardening, concerts.
exactly.
That's so vague. I mean, we got spoke to stage through stage. I mean, we had mini practicals to do to learn how to use the machinery and safely.
Hmm.
And one of them was to build jewelry suitable
We
for
also had to do
like
that.
like for a royal event. And then we had to do a jewelry box. And both were very long and not necessarily drawn out, but very hardworking
Hmm. You have
things
to
to
do
do.
like first stage ideas, second stage ideas.
Yeah,
Then you have to do like side angles, profiles, the first, second, and third view.
absolutely. And drawing all that, bird's point of view, quality control, like I said, research. What was the jury also had to represent ethics as well? So is it going to represent a tribal thing, the Celtics, African tribes, things like that?
Yeah.
To make sure not to make it racist or anything like that, or you know anything regarding like terrorist movement.
We also had to follow a certain thing. I forgot what it is now. I'll quickly Google it.
You go for it. And the whole thing just post pre-post jewelry. It was very drawn out. Then when we did the thing, it was very intense. It took 3 weeks. We had to get all the materials in because each and every single one was unique. Because there's 20 other students in the class, and every single piece was gorgeous. Those things from like iron cast, Celtic, African textiles. They were beautiful. They went in, there was prizes and stuff, competitions, and then evaluations. Oh,
Oh, I can't find it, but it was something like consider the cost of the product, consider the client of the product, the end
yeah,
user, consider the environment, what
yeah.
what is your product going to leave behind? Is it made out of plastic? Is it made out of something biodegradable?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, when we wrote our evaluation, we tested again, but we almost had to do like a Dragon's Den kind of thing. Like, why should we invest in this? What is it
Hmm.
suitable for? Is it hazardous? Is it biodegradable? Can you hang it from the ceiling? Can you hang it from the depths of hell? And like, can you hang it from a ball sack? Things like that. And and it was very intense at the end. I have to admit, but I really enjoyed it actually. I love a challenge, so
I
you know.
hated graphics just because of the teacher.
Oh,
He made it a living hell.
I can imagine it. It sounds awful. Like something so fun like that. That really sucks, man. Yeah, really. So that is all for today. For our podcast, we have been nearly on for a full hour.
45 minutes.
And what's that? Sorry.
45 minutes.
Wait 5 minutes. If you have any questions or wish to message either one of us, you are more than welcome. I am so happy and I can't thank you enough, Fox Echo, for talking to me today. It's been an absolute
Whoop, whoop.
pleasure, and another thank you again for setting all of this up. It couldn't have been done without you. So a massive thank you to you, and you are definitely getting a clap. See, can you hear that? Can you hear that
Woo.
clap? Yay!
Gotta love a clap. Gotta love a clap.
It's been a lot of loves, a lot of love, a lot of laughs, lots of positivity. And for those who are just starting, primary school, high school, college, uni, or a job, you don't have to worry about being nervous. It's incredibly normal, and you are going to do just fine. I promise you. If I can do it, I'm pretty sure you can do it.
And don't worry
Because
about grades. There's always a way around it.
absolutely,
Always a way
yeah,
around it.
absolutely. There is always a plan B, and if it's happened to you, I'm pretty sure you're not the only one it's happened to. Totally right. Don't worry about the grades. It's not the end of the world. If you show that enthusiasm and that confidence, and you show that to the person who's interviewing you, they know they can happily, sneakily push them grades aside. So, this is Magical Flower Nerd saying, if you have any questions, you know what to do. Leave a comment below. And please, if you can, leave a massive thank you for my wonderful special guest. And if you want to have a podcast like this, you can have a wonderful chat with me, and we can arrange another time. There'll be definitely more podcasts where this came from, I can guarantee you, and there will be challenges ahead. I think we should set each other a challenge and more topics. So, you know what Charlotte says. Stay safe, and Lottie loves you, baby. Do you have any questions, Fox Echo?
None at all.
None at all. Well, thank you very much, Fox Echo. Thank you. And this is Lottie saying bye bye for now. You